Hello, this is Let's Talk Plateau, and I'm here again. But today there's something that we're going to look at. We're going to look at different perspective from a very, very wonderful guest that I have with me here today. And you guys know what it is. The question is the average plateau man lazy? And this has been a narrative that many have upheld over the years that these plateau people, they are men, especially the men. They are lazy. Okay, fine. How untrue or true, we're going to find out. So I just want you to, in the course of the program, you're free to just in the comment section write your opinion, tell us what you feel, comment, and then just tell us how you feel about what's your opinion. Is it true? Is it not true? And many of you remember that some weeks back it has been on social media where a lady was interviewed and she said they asked her what are plateau people known for. She said laziness. That was her response. And then so much more. All right. So don't forget to also subscribe, on Let's Talk Plateau on our YouTube channel and of course Facebook. We're here for you. Let's Talk Plateau. With me here is Margaret Zwandor, and I'll be asking her some questions. We're going to be discussing this together. And, I would like to go straight to business. But before that, Margaret Zwandor is a digital marketer. She's a social media handler. She's a graduate of mass communication. And of course, she's many in one, but I don't want to go into details now. Margaret, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
All right. Okay. So, this narrative has been there for long that the plateau man is lazy. The average plateau man is lazy. And it has been there for long. To an extent, I don't want to be biased, but I feel it's an imposition. Do you think so?
I would say yes, and I would say no at the same time.
Okay.
Yes, because the narrative has been pushed onto us, and they might be right because they have reasons why they've said that, and then at the same time, they might be wrong.
So, they might be wrong, and they might be right.
Yes.
All right. So let me take the wrong before the right.
Okay.
So why do you think they might be wrong?
I think the right word is not lazy. I might understand where most people come from, or most ladies come from, when they say a plateau man is lazy, the average plateau man is lazy. I can understand why they would say that. But I don't think the appropriate word is lazy. I think they are relaxed. If that's the aspect you want to come from, I think the word is relaxed. We are a little, or the men rather, are a little too comfortable. They are not lazy.
All right. So if you say they are rather too comfortable, okay, so it means that for instance, okay, there's an opportunity, they're not grabbing the opportunity, they're just comfortable with where they are. Or what exactly do you mean they are too comfortable?
Now, everything I'm going to say here is going to be my opinion because this is what I think.
Exactly.
Now, by comfortable, what I mean is coming into the plateau, for those who have been in the plateau or those who have visited once or twice, the environment in itself is comfortable. Coming into the city of Plateau State or the city of Jos, even the weather, the atmosphere, everything is relaxed, is calm. You know how you go to the big cities and there's a hustle bubble, there's bustle hustle going on. Everybody's in a rush, everybody's fighting. That's not how the plateau is. The plateau is a calm town. So subconsciously, we, the occupants of the town, have gotten used to not being in a rush, not being too agile when it comes to taking up opportunities. We've just become so comfortable that we don't realize that the world is going on ahead of us. Every other person is not as calm as we are. The weather is good, the food is good, the people are nice, everything is just calm. There's no reason for you to want to do anything other than what you're doing. That's what I mean by comfortable.
Okay. So can we say that um, that's comfortable when you're talking about, okay, they are just that comfortable. In a way, don't you think that somebody will say no? It's not that we're comfortable, but it's just that we are contented with what we have. Do you have issue with the contentment?
No, contentment is a good thing on its own. Contentment is as a human being, you should be contented. But it becomes a problem if you are too contented. I don't know if there's a word like that. Or you're contented to the point where you're not making an attempt to be better than what you are. That's when it becomes a problem. When you feel like when I wake up in the morning, there's already a schedule of things to do. There's no competition. Yeah, there's no competition between my friends are not exactly doing anything outside what they're used to. So I am also tempted to not be better at what I know how to do because, oh well, nobody else is doing better and this is fine. I mean, it's feeding me, it's putting food on the table, and it's at least my needs are met. So contentment to me becomes a problem when you become too comfortable in your contentment and you don't strive for bigger or better things.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay, now, you know, many have, uh, many believe that the Plateau man just prefers to just, wake up in the morning and lazy around, go and hang out in one, drinking spot,
Mm.
and then probably he has a wife and kids. The wife will be the one going to the farm or going to take care of the children and so on and so forth. Now, have you seen that? Have you
Yes,
seen that?
yes. I've seen a lot of homes where the woman is the breadwinner of the family, and then the man is just, like you said, in a bar somewhere, drinking and forgetting away his responsibilities to his family and to his state at large. But then, what if we say Plateau men are not lazy, but the women are hardworking? What if we say that? That's
Okay.
another way to put it. Sometimes these men that we think are lazy, of course, in every place, I cannot say that there are no lazy men on the plateau. That would be a lie. Of course, there are. But then selling that as a narrative of the plateau people is where the problem is. That's not who we are as a state. Our men are not lazy. Our women are hardworking. Plateau women are hardworking. Plateau women are industrious, and they won't just sit around. I mean, we can see the same way that we would see men that don't do anything for their families. We see women that don't do anything for their families. We still see women that are the ones that are completely in charge of everything that goes on in the house. Sometimes it could be because the man didn't have an opportunity to be better. It's life after all. Anything can happen. We might be a couple and then I am the one that is blessed with the wealth and you're not. But everybody else in the area will term you lazy because they would say you are providing for the home. I am providing for the home rather. And you that is the husband, you're lazy. So I would say Plateau women are industrious and Plateau men are not lazy.
All right. Okay. If you're saying that, okay, let me just put it this way now. Plateau men, Plateau women. Who is lazy and who is not lazy?
I've not done research, so I don't know. I don't know.
All right. Okay. Yeah. You see, the narrative has been there for long, as I said, and I think it's high time that we, the Plateau people, you know, think through this whole stuff because in the outside world it won't be good that okay I think I remember even before this lady that was on social media there was a time this man in Barkete family made some reference
Yes.
towards that and I remember I don't know I think I heard they say he apologized something like
I
that
think he
and all
did.
that So you see, it's going out. The narrative is selling. So, but still, I know that if the Plateau man is too comfortable, what will you advise him to do? If he's too comfortable from in the position where he is, what would you advise him to do? What is that thing that the Plateau man can do to move out of that comfort to the place where, in quote, there's going to be a much more better progress that can be seen?
Okay. Now, we as Plateau people see that we are comfortable, but people on the outside see it as lazy. And with these individuals coming out to say these things on social media, that is the notion that everybody else that has not been to Plateau or has not interacted with someone from Plateau would think. Now, we know that if we're being honest, the Plateau men like their alcohol. That's true. We like our alcohol to the point where it incapacitates us from being responsible sometimes. So my advice to firstly, I would advise these individuals that go about saying Plateau men are lazy. That is not the narrative you should be selling about the state, because there are many good things that happen in this state. This state has given birth to a lot of stars in different spheres of life. So the narrative that we are lazy is not a right one. My advice now for individuals living in the Plateau is that we should strive for better. You strive for better. Let's use people from other states or other countries to weigh our own performance and see that we can be better. We shouldn't be so calm and saying, okay, this has not come to just yet, so until it does, let me just be mediocre. There's no space for that. Just because you think that has not come, why don't you bring the things that you see outside to the state? Also, investors or maybe businessmen can help. Plateau has a lot of things that I might not completely know of. There are a lot of things that we have on the Plateau that if attention and funding is given to them, they grow. For example, we farm a lot. Plateau State is known to have a lot of foodstuff and livestock. The climate here is just perfect for these things. Why don't we sell that part of us rather than going? And also this, I feel like the ladies or the people that go about telling this narrative, if you look at those people carefully, they most probably do not even know what they are saying. They are just maybe saying it to chase clout or even just from their entitled minds. For example, a lady would say a Plateau man is lazy because he didn't spend so much money on her like she would expect. That's just one angle I'm coming from. A girl will say Plateau men don't spend money. I have a question for those girls. People that you think that I as a man, I would go from Monday to Saturday, I would work hard for hours and make money, and you want me to come and give it all to you, or I'm going to just come and blow it in the club at once or blow it somewhere else? I wouldn't do that. I'm probably going to strive to grow where that money came from. Now, some of these ladies that say these things, I'm sure they're used to people that have other means of making money, and when these people make that money, they are willing to blow it as much as they can. And then when you meet somebody from another state that spends $1 million in one day, a million in one day, maybe just at a clothing store or something, you don't expect a man that has worked and toiled the ground for months to come and give you the same amount of money. It doesn't work that way. So if that's the perspective these ladies are coming from, I think they should drop that and just be realistic and stop being entitled to the men's money. Instead, they should work for their own money, or at least have something for themselves.
I think one of the things that gladdens me right now is the fact that it's a lady that is saying this. You know, if it was a man saying this now, they'll say, So you heard, if you're a lady and you're watching, she said, I didn't say, she said. that you should work hard for yourself and don't rely on man's money. Okay, so but that's just but even for the alcohol you talked about, I've traveled around some states in this country and I've seen men and women drink to stupor. Like I know other people say, oh, Plateau people drink a lot, but I've seen in different places, different states when people drink. So I think it's not even most. I don't think, most times you see when I ask, okay, why do you say no? They drink, but I think I've seen people who does that in different climes. So, but one thing that you said that is also important. You talked about funding. I heard you say that. Now, I think this is something that is very important because most times, and that should I want to extend this to say that to some of our leaders and let me say stakeholders, friends, colleagues that are well to do. I think it's not a bad idea if you help your fellow Plateau person, to strive, to thrive rather in progress when it comes to, because I know there's a lot of talent, as you said, a lot of talent people. I've seen we have a lot of innovators, a lot of hardworking people, and as a matter of fact, I even feel that there are much more Plateau people that make them Plateau proud that we don't even know. Most times we don't even know, from the entertainment to the technological aspects, even different places.
Even as scholars, they do a lot of things.
Exactly. All right. So now, let's say, what is that one thing that you think the average Plateau man need to focus on in building a system that is workable not just for him but for others that are coming after him?
To answer that question, I would say the average Plateau man should look at its strengths and build on that. You mentioned earlier that one of our strengths, just one of our strengths on the plateau, is the land, the ground. The climate in Plateau and our simplicity is not the only good thing we have in the state. We've been blessed by the perfect weather. There are things that cannot be grown anywhere else in the country but in Plateau State. So I would say the Plateau man should focus on the wealth the Lord has given him. Not just food now. There are a lot of mineral resources in the state. It's just that the manner in which that is being taken is not productive to the state. If the people in authority would do right by the state and by the land and by the people and invest in these things, they would even employ citizens of the state to help, and then this will help grow the economy of the state. So I think we should look at our strengths, what the Lord has blessed us with, and grow and capitalize on that, like a lot of other nations are doing.
Okay, so is the Plateau man taking advantage of what he has? Like in the scale of 1 to 10, what would you say?
I would say 6.
A 6.
We are not maximizing the things, the resources that are available to us. We're not completely maximizing them. I mean, we can do better. Plateau State is growing, but it's growing at a very slow pace. If only a lot of people would see the bigger picture and put in more effort, we'll be competing with other completely productive states in Nigeria.
Okay. So now I've talked with a lot of young guys, young men in Plateau, and one of the things they will tell me is that we're not getting help. We're not getting help. Nobody is there to support our dreams. I've talked to a lot of them. Some of them will tell me, look, if only I can have, probably, let me say, just 2 million, 5 million, some as low as 500,000. I think this is my dream. This is my talent that I have. I know I'll be able to do something with it. So now the big question is, where is that help going to come from?
From the Lord. But to answer your question, everybody needs help, especially as a startup. Most times, you don't just hit luck. You need help. You need somebody at the top to pull you up. But at the same time, you shouldn't be entitled to it. In as much as you're hoping that someone somewhere will notice your talent or will be generous enough to fund your business, you shouldn't be entitled to somebody else's money. That is where the issue of working harder comes in. The issue of working harder, that's where it comes in. I mean, it's not easy. I know I'm just saying it. Working hard for someone might take 10 years, it might take even 15 years, and sometimes you don't have that time. But just work harder and strive. I'm sure some way, somehow, someday, you would be noticed. I'm saying this even to myself because, of course, you need funding, you need help, you need assistance, you need connections to grow. People on the plateau have amazing ideas. If you hear somebody talk about the aspirations they have for themselves, their family, and their businesses, you'd be amazed. But then there's just one thing stopping it. They don't have the right audience, the right connections, and most importantly, they don't have the money. So, like I would say, hope for the best, but work hard. Just do your best, do what you can do. At least you're doing your best and you're being productive to yourself and to the state.
Okay. I've heard people say this thing, and they say it jokingly, and some take it much serious. They say Nigeria can change somebody's destiny. Have you heard that?
I agree.
And the first time I heard it, I asked, "What do you mean?" You say, this I was telling me, it's pilot I was planning to be. It's pilot, but now I'm a shoe owner or a factory. What do you say? I have a factory, shoe factory.
Or you're a taxi driver.
Or maybe I'm a taxi driver.
Or you don't have POS shop.
I have POS shop and all that. So why I'm bringing this is because I want to ask you, do you think the system that we have in Nigeria, which Plateau is inclusive, is encouraging? Does it encourage young people? Because if people keep changing what professions, or keep changing what they feel inside them, okay, this is what I'm called, or this is what I think I want to do, or this is what I really want to be. If people have to keep switching, is it really good for the society? Is it really good for the society?
It's not even good for the individuals themselves because it just demoralizes you. You had dreams, you have plans, and it doesn't work. I would say the system is unfair. Many people have wished to be many big things. Many people have wished to be many big things, but they didn't get a chance to because the system is just unfair. You don't have access to the things you need to be what you want. And at the end of the day, you have to survive. So you just lean into the only thing that is available or what seems convenient for you to make money. So hopefully things change.
Okay, so what are your thoughts, your final thoughts regarding this whole saga? I call it saga because it has trended so much that it became a saga.
True. And then the Justmen got really angry and they turned it into a joke. That's my thoughts is a lot of people have said my opinion everywhere. You cannot completely term a complete state of men lazy. You cannot and should not do that. But at the same time, the plateau man should work harder, the plateau man should work harder, and the state will be better at the end of the day. And also those in authority, those in power, those with financial funding can help. to grow and build a state. That's my thoughts on the whole saga. Also, I forgot women, because that was how the saga started. Women were saying the men were lazy. I would also say women, stop being entitled to a man's money. Even if you're deserving of it, don't be completely entitled.
All right. This Let's Talk Plateau, and I've been talking with Margaret, regarding the narrative that has been, in my words, I would say, imposed on the people of Plateau, the young, vibrant people of Plateau. However, I believe that we can't rule out that there are lazy people anywhere in the world. You'll find hardworking people and lazy people wherever you go. But the thing is that we need to keep pushing harder, and try our best to make our dear state a place, a destination where it will be reckoned with hope, strength, progress, innovation, and so on and so forth. So it's Let's Talk Plateau again. I would like you to subscribe on our channels and get more of this. Let's Talk Plateau.